I wanted to know if I could actually solve hard problems without anybody else. Now, don't get me wrong, I love a good bouldering session with friends. And the first night when the new set is up is some of the best energy at the gym. But I've noticed that when the climbing gets hard, it's not my strength that's shutting down, it's actually my thinking. And I started wondering if always having other climbers around to ask for help and beta was robbing me of the most important part of this process. So I went to the gym alone, a brand new set on the slab wall. There were no other climbers for me to watch and nobody to ask for help. This orange climb really messed with me right away. The start was super confusing. I was so crunched up and couldn't find a balanced position to get off the ground. So rather than get frustrated, I just skipped the start and worked on the middle of the problem. I wanted to see how the rest of the climb felt and whether it was just an awkward start position or it was going to be an impossible climb. Once I got moving, it actually felt pretty fun. This middle section, it was really important to have my right foot placed at the proper angle to allow me to do this step down move. Flowing through the rest of the climb told me something. If the middle and end weren't really that complicated, then the start shouldn't be that complicated either. Maybe I just needed to find some easy solution. So I went back to the start, just played around with a bunch of different positions and eventually found one that worked for me. This purple problem looked way harder right off the ground. The start was brutal, and it was really hard to establish yourself on this volume, and then once I was there, it felt almost impossible to be able to stand up on just one leg. So I followed the same tactic as before, and I just skipped the beginning instead of getting frustrated, and I moved on to the middle of the climb to see what the rest of it felt like. I went back and tried the start again, but I still couldn't find the right position to get me established and moving into the middle of this climb. So I tried something different. I reverse engineered it. I got up in the middle of the climb and actually down climbed my way through the beginning of this problem. This allowed me to figure out I was actually going to need to have 2 feet established here on the volume to be able to stand up and get through this section. Now this pink problem was a totally different style. It was a straight up wrestling match. Only 5 holds stacked vertically up the wall and no specific footholds. I felt confident because this looked like a powerful climb, but I was quickly humbled by the start moves. Once I figured out where to put my feet to get going, it was actually this middle move that turned out to be the real crux sequence. So I slowed down and really thought through it while reviewing some of these takes sitting in the gym. If I was gonna rock over, I needed to have my foot established much higher. So next time when I got up there, I was able to get that position. This was a really fun session. I don't know the grades of the problems. I have no idea the intended beta, but I was able to figure it out all on my own. Being alone forced me to slow down. I talked things out. I tried new ideas. There was no real shortcuts. You know, I still love climbing with my friends, but I'm gonna start adding these solo climbing sessions into my routine on purpose. Next time, I wanna see if this same type of thinking holds up when the pressure really starts to build.